Hi, what up, are my Frenchie? This is me, 143. If you don't have a friend, you have a few now. Welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Pet Loss Edition. Oh, I am, we've got Michelle is on with Bubba. Hello, hello, hello. If you're on, say hello in the chat. So, and I just, usually my moderator handles all my little chat stuff, but I noticed on here it has all these really cool little emojis on here. Hello, hello, moderator. Hello, hello. But I'm not going to get distracted by all these little emojis. So, anyways, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is the Tuesday, 7 o'clock is the pet loss segment of the shows. Saturdays are free topics, which are a little bit more lighthearted and fun, and not necessarily always pet related, but just kind of a hodgepodge of stuff. But Tuesdays I have dedicated to all of our pet loss support stuff, which I think is really really needed. And then Wednesdays are going to be our regular, just fun videos, and whether we do dog treats or something interesting and unique, just something along that lines. But anyway, so happy that everybody has chimed in and reached out a couple more places today, because there was quite a few losses this week. I know, sadly enough, there was quite a few losses this week. So I hope that there'll be some people joining in, because again, the 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 main reason for this channel, not only to have fun and have a great channel, but when I started this whole journey with pet loss and grief support, gosh, now it's been over 12 years ago. But it just, when I was going through it myself, it was a very very lonely place, and not having a place, not having somewhere to go, or just that lonely feeling that you just there it's not, I don't know, it's just a different feeling. And when you're going through it, you know how it is. But it's not like you could just pick up a phone or go to a therapist, or there's not places for pet loss. It's hard to find places for pet loss. So that's why I want there this to be known, that there is a place where people can come every Tuesday. And if the more popular this channel comes, I'd like there to be more days where people know that they have a spot to come, you know, and build a community of support, because it's important. And it's important for people to be able to have a spot where they can honor their pet and honor their feelings, and be validated in knowing that what they're feeling is okay. And again, I've got some great topics to go over, because over the years of doing this, I've learned a lot of things. It's not, pet loss is not some sort of cut and dry, it's not some sort of cut and dry topic. There's a lot of interesting nuances to it, with regards to how it affects our bodies, and just everything that goes with it. So, like I said, we share a lot of things about our pets. We share a lot of stories, and through all of that, we get healing. And through our journeys, we can help other people, and all of that does is spread, and it helps people. And that is the goal. The goal is to help people. The goal is to just is to change the stigma of pet loss and grief, because right now, the way it is, it's just something that's brushed under the carpet as, oh, it's just a dog, it's just a cat, it's just a reptile. No, it's not. It's something that we love, and it's something that loves us unconditionally, and it needs to be recognized, and it needs to be honored as such. So these are beautiful, beautiful creatures that, as my two are waltzing around here somewhere. Rosie's trying to get into, if I can get her up here, you'll see her here in a second. For those of you who are maybe new to the channel, I have, here, let me get her up here. Rosie, come here. Rosie, come. Come on, come. Say hi. Come say hello. Come up. See if Coco come up first. Sorry. So here's Coco. So this is Coco Chanel. So, and then now Rosie will come because Rosie's very jealous. So this is, so if you have never been here before, I will start by introducing. This is Coco Chanel. Coco Chanel is, she's a 3-year-old Frenchie. She's a Frenchie. She was a rescue. She was rescued. She is deaf. Her ears are down because when she was, her last people that she was with, they did not take care of her, and she had a lot of ear infections, which caused her ears to crumple over. She did have these really nice, pretty straight up and down ears, but she had a lot of ear infections, which caused her ears to crumple over. But she is completely deaf, beautiful and completely deaf, very, very agile, very, very, she's a great agility dog. Something that we're going to get Coco into one day. She's a very, very loving, wonderful, wonderful dog. And so this is our little Coco Chanel. Rosie is over there giving Coco the stink eye because Rosie is a very, very jealous little potato. I see that Patty and Dave have joined. Hello, Patty and Dave. Michelle was the first one to come in. Now, also, if you're new, Michelle is from New Zealand. Michelle has Bubba. Bubba is Michelle's dog. Patty and Dave have joined, and they own Violet. So if you are new here as well, pop your name into the chat, say hello, and if you have a dog that's currently with us, put their name in there, and or if you've had one that's passed away, please add their name as well. But we like to get all on Tuesdays. Tuesdays are our pet loss day, and but we want to get some of the lighthearted welcomes first. And at the moderator, yes, the moderators. Okay, yes, the moderators. Dog's name is Noir, and she's also a very, very beautiful dog. Hello, Coco. So. But yes, if you're new here, pop your name and say hello in the chat, and pop your name or your dog's name in the chat as well. When Rosie's done being mad at Coco, she'll come over and say hello. But I will also, I've got this here, now that Coco is moved over, I will show some. This is kind of the fun part too. And like I said, we'll get into we always get into our heavy topics here in a minute. So last week, here is a fun picture of my son and I thought this was really funny. My son and Coco were having a ball on their chairs. So they were just having a really good old time hanging out. So they were just having a blast. Coco looked really, really crazy. So I thought that was really just a fun picture. But so there's my son and Coco. And then I like to get some of these out of the way. I will say that congratulations to sorry, yes, Coco. Congratulations to Dave, who I did receive a picture. He won a Super Bowl basket from his church. He sent a picture. That was wonderful. Congratulations, Dave, on your win from a Super Bowl win from this past weekend. What a great picture. Thought that was a wonderful picture that you sent. you have any pictures, the moderator will put the email address in the chat. If you have any pictures you want to send, that'll be spotlighted. We'll put them in the chat here. We'll spotlight your pictures. Yep. Wait, what is the oh, someone in Ohio would love those. Yeah, I know those Ghirardelli chocolates are wonderful. And then last week I did spotlight. There's a company. There's a company on Instagram. It's Frenchy Friends Company. That was my Frenchy find of the week, and they have these wonderful, wonderful sweatshirts. And I will put their information back in the bio. But they have these adorable, adorable, cute sweatshirts. But I will put their information back in the bio. But this is some of their sweatshirts that I purchased last week. Absolutely wonderful. Love, 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 love their stuff. And small business, great lady. And I will say this, the quality of their items, great quality, great pricing. Items came really, really quickly. And even, sending her messages and so forth, very responsive. Definitely hands down, great small business. Totally, totally, totally. I also mentioned that my friend Bethany, so I'm kind of like recapping all these past episodes. My friend Bethany, people were asking about her dog. Her dog Miles went to the Westminster and did not win because Penny, the Penny won. But this was her dog because a bunch of people wanted to see what her dog looked like. So this was her dog, Miles, that went to the Westminster. Beautiful, beautiful dog. Did not win, but this was a picture of Miles. My friend Bethany, this is her dog. He does a lot of different shows. Absolutely gorgeous dog. Absolutely, absolutely gorgeous dog. So congratulations to Miles and their team. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dog. So congratulations to them. So there's that. And I just have two more. I'll bore you with two more. So we did not have our, yes, exactly. So well, absolutely. So well cared for. Those dogs absolutely are. We did not have our meeting this past Saturday. We had moved it to Friday because the moderator, this is a picture of the moderator. This is what the moderator looks like. The moderator and I had a special event. So I just wanted everybody to see how beautiful the moderator looked like at our special event. So moderator looked absolutely beautiful at her special event. So congratulations to the moderator. Looked absolutely beautiful. So very, very nice night and a nice dinner out for her. So nice celebration for her. So there's the picture of the beautiful moderator. We've already seen what her dog looks like. So this is our moderator. And then our very last picture for today, and then we'll get into our pet loss topic. Because like I said, I always like to, start out a little easy. Yes. Got the best Valentine. Got the best Valentine all the way from New Zealand. There's Will You Be My Valentine? Picture of Bubba from New Zealand. Is this not the greatest Valentine ever? Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Michelle, for sending this. Absolutely beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. And I will make copies and send a copy out to the moderator and Dave and Patty as well. This is absolutely adorable. Love it, love it, love it. I'm going to hang this up too. This is so cute. So, so cute. So if you do, if you're new here as well, the moderator will put the email address in the chat there. And if you have any pictures that you'd like to send of your dogs, please feel free to, and send them, and then we will put your dog's pictures on there. But absolutely love this. Absolutely love this. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. So, and we do have our candle because we will light our candle today, and just want to make sure that my my lighter works, so that's good. And I will I will have to say that when I had this lit last time, I had it lit at the beginning of the chat, and then I had it lit at the end of the chat, and it seemed that like more people watched the rerun of the chat because the candle was lit. So I don't know if they thought we were doing witchcraft or something, but I don't know. But anyways, we'll light it back at the end of the chat, in honor of the ones that have passed. So, but we do have the candle. So moderator, please remember to, moderator, please remember to, so I don't go rambling onto something and forget to do the candle lighting on that. So anyways, but we have had a crazy week. It was a beautiful day today. So to start it off, our snow is melting. So we are on a good track of the snow melting here. And the tea is good. The snow is melting. And that is a good thing. So that means spring is ahead. We're planning our vacations, and which is also a very good thing. Now, I'm not too thrilled about how quick the months are going by. They seem to be flying by. We're basically halfway through February already. So I will say that the place that we went on, the place that the moderator and I went on Saturday I've been there before. When I had my book signing, this probably be 7 years ago now. There is a restaurant, and I'm going to talk to them about doing a video there as well. There's a restaurant, and they have one here in Columbus, and then one in New Albany, Ohio, and then there's actually a couple outside of the U.S. as well. But the company is called BrewDog, and they have a brewery and they have a hotel, but it's all, everything is dog friendly. They have a dog park. Their hotels are dog friendly. And when I had my book signing, I had rented a room there, and it was a very nice turnout, but you can bring your dogs there, and it's a great atmosphere. So I said their hotel rooms and stuff are all dog friendly. And I'd like to do a video, showcasing some of their rooms, especially for people that travel with dogs. And it's just a great place, especially in the summer, because they have huge dog parks where people can, go, and you can, if you drink, you can have a beer, and you can get together with people and bring your dogs. And it's just a very nice, relaxed atmosphere. But we went there Saturday night for our little celebration party, and there was a lady in there that had, I can't remember. Marjorie, do you remember what the dog's name was? There was a dog there that was having their 10th birthday, and just real adorable dog. So it's just a real dog friendly place, and just I love, of course I love any places like that, but it was towards the end of the night, so I'm probably right. You just probably remember it was a big dog. It wasn't really that big of a dog though. Come here, Rosie. Come here, Rosie. Rosie looks so sad. Come here. And Rosie just, come here. You want to come here? Anyway, so moving on. Come here. You want to come here? But anyway, so this bar restaurant is very, very nice. And again, I like anything that is dog friendly. And the potato was looking very sad over there. Sorry, so I had to move her over a little bit. Thought she would like to join the chat tonight, so she can be with us for our topics tonight. Yes, the Princess Potatoes moved over. Well, when Coco was up here, she was giving Coco the stink eye because she's very, Rosie gets very jealous not again, but not in a very like, mean way, but she just gets very, very, she's got to be number one. She has to be number one. So, but anyways, so she can sit here with us and um, she could sit here with us for our topics tonight. So, anyways, but let's get into. I pulled some really interesting topics for tonight for our pet loss night, and these are ones that I was kind of trying to jog my mind on when we had the in person meetings, and a couple of them in particular came up, and I remember being the one I really kind of threw me off guard. And it's something that I had not really thought about. Um, I didn't really, I, I hadn't really thought about it. So, and I will give a disclaimer that anytime I talk about my meeting stuff from back then, I don't ever use names and so forth. And I always do it in absolutely the most respectful way. And then the reason why I do it is because I learn a lot from all of these stories and so forth. But uh, the one interesting thing that came up is, you always expect when people show up to meetings, you know, they're pet law, they're advertised as pet law support group meetings, correct? Well, this gentleman came and, he sat down, I mean, in the room full of people, and people, the disclaimer every time the meeting starts were, if you can say as much as you want, you don't have to say anything at all. You can listen, you just, or you could just, you just talk as much as you want. Is the only rules were is that you just had to be respectful. That's the only rules. So anyways, people went around the room and, all sorts of stories. So it gets to this one gentleman, and he's, he was okay with talking, and he said that he was a cat person, and he said that he lost his cat. And I said, oh, I said, well, when did you lose your cat? And he said, like 3 months ago. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, well, how did it happen? He's like, she just ran out the back door. And I was like, oh, it kind of puzzled me. I was like, well, did she get hit? Did she get hit by a car? You want to be sensitive and, and so forth. But the key to it, or the kicker to it, was he lost his cat. Like literally he lost his cat and he didn't know. And so that happens a lot with people where, whether it's a cat or it's a dog or, whatever you have, that's another form of pet loss and grief, is when you get to a point of where you physically lose something and you don't know if they're alive or dead, and then you have to deal with that grief, right. Michelle says, and that's the worst, not knowing. And so, and it caught me off guard, as because I had never thought about that. I had never thought about somebody actually attending a meeting, being in the situation of being in a sense of a grief state of, or being in kind of like this parallel universe of, so to speak, of not knowing, like, how are you, like, you're kind of in the middle of being in grief mode and hope mode in the same sense, if that makes sense. And so as a facilitator of the group, trying to help him, because he was at the kind of the crossroads of not wanting to give up hope, but then also not wanting to, not wanting to, you know, like continue to put himself through this mental turmoil, because it was like it was just this horrible cycle of, he would say that he would, lose sleep, and then we were going into winter months, and he's like, is she freezing outside? Is it, or it was just like this. It was almost worse not knowing where she was, and so it was just it was such a weird uh, it was such a weird kind of angle to be at in a state of pet loss. In in the so I don't know. I mean, and you never really think about that, but when you see stories on that, I mean, unfortunately, the one young lady is going through that with her mother, and in the news right now, she doesn't know where her mother is. I mean, that's horrible. Granted, that's a live event going on right now, and but I mean that mental turmoil, um, and so there's a lot of different there's a lot of different angles that you have to, as a pet owner, um, going back to the pet angle on that one. There's a lot of different angles that, as a person, that when things like that happen, and depending on how long it's going on, you're going through a hope slash grief cycle. So grieving without answers, when your pet goes missing, it's called ambiguous grief, grieving without closure, living in two emotional states, uh, hope versus dread is what they call it. Um, it's okay to keep searching and feeling grief. Uh, let's see. If your pet is missing, uh, what do you wish people understand about this kind of grief? That's a good question. If your pet is missing, what do you wish people understood about this kind of grief? Yeah, I mean, that's a very good question. Um, that you're I think another thing is, and too, like with him, his mind was constantly in this mental loop. Yeah, it again, of just the unknown. So it it, it just it was hard, and I'll be very honest. He came to quite a few meetings, and I saw him maybe, because we lived in the same town. I saw him maybe, oh, another few years, probably a few years later, and he never did find his cat. So who knows? But I mean, does that mean that something bad happened to the cat? No. I mean, it could mean that a family picked the cat up. I mean, there are a lot of people that take in animals. I mean, that's best case scenario. I mean, there's just a point where you have to take your mind and put it at ease, and there's just right. Patty says, not knowing, so heavy on your heart. Absolutely. Yeah. And you get the a collision of emotions. You get grief, rage, uh, there's just so many different emotions. So there's just a lot of different things. So here's another one. Here's another big topic too. This is a huge one too. Yeah, Dave says it's wise to have your pets chipped. Yeah, you know what? I think a lot of people are doing that now. I think that the chipping process is a lot more prevalent now than it was was before. But it, and I know a lot of people do it with dogs. I'm not, I mean, and I think that a lot of rescues do that. Um, I definitely think a lot of rescues do that, but uh, and there's people and that like the police stations have the chippers now where they can scan for chipping, for animals with chips in them. So it's not like you have to wait for a vet to be open. There's a lot of different places you can take pets to scan for chips. So, which that's a good thing. But so here's another triggering topic for pet loss. When your pet passes due to the unintentional negligence of a loved one, or when your pet passes due to, again, like, so say if somebody's babysitting a pet of yours, and say you're out of town and they're babysitting a pet. um Sometimes they do it. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what Dave says. Yeah. And they'll do it for free. Yeah, they scan the pets for free, absolutely. um so here's another one. This was another topic in some of our meetings as well. If people went on vacation, and this was unfortunately one that a couple people had come to a meeting, and their mother was watching, and their mother, which was like a grandmother, was watching their dog, and the dog got into a horrible accident and passed away while they were on vacation. So how do you deal with that, knowing that it was an accident, right? Knowing that it was an accident. And it was sad because the people that came to this meeting, I remember it was a mother and a daughter, and the daughter was probably like early 20s, and the mother was probably like, I don't know, early 40s. And again, the grandmother in question was, I mean, she was a grandmother or whatever. But it happened that unfortunately the dog got out the back door and was hit by a car, is what happened. So it wasn't anything that uh, was intentional. And the the mother and daughter, of course, were, they didn't, hate their mother by any means, but they were struggling with the fact that they weren't there, and they weren't there when, of course, the dog had to be let go. So, but it was, even though you don't want to be mad at the person, like, there's always that weird feeling of, had I not gone on vacation, had there's always some sort of weird animosity, right? And it took them a while. It took them a a lot of it took them a lot of meetings to come to the conclusion that, I mean, bottom line is that no matter what, we can't control life. We can only control how we handle our emotions in life, right? And whether, we can't sit there and live in a bubble, and we can't not go places, and whether it happened at mom's house, it could have happened at their house. And I think, some, I mean, even even when I had the loss of my one dog here, where he passed away at home, I had a lot of animosity over that situation, because he was on so many meds, and I knew that he was not supposed to be I knew that he was not supposed to be all riled up and I totally forgot. I totally forgot that I had, people that I told, that could, come into town and, uh, and but that was prior to him getting sick. And so when it came to that time and, you know, I, I waffled on, I waffled on, saying, no to the people coming into town. And, um, I was, I kind of fell into the, to the whole, yeah, I guess it'll be okay, if you still come over. And then, they came over and, he got excited and, he got overly excited. And he was, I don't know, he got overly excited and he was gone probably within, I don't know, hour. And, yeah, so I, I harbored a lot of, I harbored a lot of bad feelings about that for a long time. And I fought with that for a long period of time. And I think that it that situation was one that I had to come to grips on learning that that's one of the things when I had to come to grips that um, I'm not God. And I'm not God, and I cannot make the decision of when we come into this world and when we leave this world. And no matter how many meds that he was on, I did not, I did not write the date of his death in the book. And all I know is that, all I know is that, or all that I would like to believe is that God had to take him that way from me because I probably wouldn't have let him go. So, because I loved him that much. Um, that dog was my heart, and he took a piece of me when he left. So, but like I said, that was a big learning lesson for me. And getting back on track with that, again, that was a situation where, I mean, just like this, you fight with yourself on, did I, you know, is that, was my, was my decision what caused the death? No. Do I think that? No. Did I at the time? Yeah. Did I think that for a long time? Yeah. Did I blame, my friend's situation? Yes. Was that wrong of me? 100%. Um, and so do I think people should do that? No. So, but again, that's, this is how in my mind, or this is how, what I think, this, that's how I think grief screws with you. And that's why I think that it's important that you have grief support groups. And I think that that's why there's education, that you can help other people so that they realize that they're not alone. That when you start thinking things like this, you can ground yourself, and you can get back to the realization that no, you're not alone, and you're not God, and you can't control life and death, and you can't, say, oh, the one thing I did that, because that's just, in my mind, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, right? So, anyways, moving on. um, Now, I will say that there are, let's see here. Moving on. Now, you can go into, let's go over some of these talking points, okay? So, there are some different healing practices that you could do. There are some different healing practices that you can do. You can, now some people do this. I've never, there are different things that you can do when it comes to like emotional healing. And they say that you can create a detailed goodbye ritual, um, which I find interesting. Uh, reframing, you could reframe the guilt into compassion. That's an interesting one. Writing a letter to your pet explaining why you weren't there, which is another interest. Anyways, but okay, let's move on from that because that's just, I don't know. Okay. How's everybody doing out there? Let's move on to that. Yes, the moderator says you could create a small memorial space for your pet somewhere in your home. Now, I do have one of those. I do have small memorial spaces in my garden for my pets. So, yes, you absolutely can do that. Yes, that is a very, very good one. That is a very, very good one. So, yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Very, very good one. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. And it's always good to reframe. Going back to that whole reframing one that I just mentioned, it is good to reframe because I think that, I know I kind of brushed over it, but I think sometimes that our minds play tricks on us, and automatically we go over situations and we try to look for the negative. Automatically, a lot of times we look for all the negative and we look for all the bad in something. And so to step back and to really, especially once your mind has kind of settled down, in order to step back and to kind of take a breath and say, all right, let me get a different perspective on this. And like you said, to step back and just take a little bit of a breath and say, okay, how is this really? And many times, again, it's often good to get a second opinion, get another opinion from somebody. Um, but with that being said, don't get another opinion from somebody that's gonna, I don't want to say devalue you, because you don't want that either. You don't want that either. Um, you don't want somebody to you don't want somebody to like minimize your you don't want somebody to minimize your feelings either, with the especially if you're like the one gentleman, um in the first scenario, where again, people can be very insensitive on with regards to animals. And a lot of people would have told him, "Well, just give up. It's just a cat. Just go get another cat. There's 50 million cats out there. Go get another cat." Why would you do that? And with that being said, uh, even even with I know some dog people as well. Um, I know a dog person that's in dog rescue, and it actually shocked me because I thought she was like a very like I don't know, like dog person like I am, a crazy dog person like I am. And she I had heard her kind of make some what I considered insensitive dog comments to somebody that lost a dog, and it floored me a little bit. But she was one that was just like, "You lost your dog, go get another one." Kind of just like they were this disposable thing, right? And that's not how it works. And it shocked me a little bit. But with that being said, yeah, again, everybody's different, right? And I'm not going to criticize people for being different or having different feelings. Just there's, I mean, I think Michelle, you said that you grew up on a farm, right? Their farmers are different. Farmers, you grew up on a farm where you don't have the farmer mentality by any means, but farmers are different. And but they have to be, because if you have 700 cows and you name them all, more than likely you're going to have 700 cows live to be, I don't know how the hell long cows live, but more than likely you're going to have 700 cows live to be 40 years old, and you're never going to have a hamburger, right? And you're going to be probably pretty damn poor, because I think they're pretty expensive to maintain. But um yeah. um but right, I mean, like, so I guess I'm assuming that you have to be somewhat, you know, a certain mentality to be a farmer. However, with that being said, I do believe that farmers love animals, because I believe that if you're a farmer, you have to love animals, just the same way that I believe that people that are hunters love animals. I think that they find animals beautiful. I really do. I absolutely do. I think that I think that especially hunters that are good hunters are, you know, absolutely love animals. And I think that they do it with, the intent on, minimally, you know, minimal pain, minimal all that stuff, because they do it for the love of the sport and the love of the animal. I think that there's value in everything. So there's I think everything is valued. So there's, like I said, there's just all these different levels. So um, yeah, it's but I who was I? Oh, Cat Williams. There's a comedian, Cat Williams. He he said that he had bought a farm recently, like I guess within the past few years, and he had bought, like 100 pigs and 50 chickens and 50 lambs and stuff like that. And he hasn't, he didn't realize, how hard it was, and he hasn't killed anything yet. He's like, he started naming everything, and he hasn't had the heart to do anything like that yet. But um oh, yes, you were from farming community. 4-H is so necessary for farm kids. Was invited. Yeah, yeah. Patty says that. Yeah, you're from a farming community. 4-H is so necessary for farm kids. Yes, harvesting an animal is just a small part. Exactly, that's what Dave says. Harvesting an animal is just a small part of hunting. Absolutely, but it's also right. It's a small part of hunting, but it's also, like I said, but you still love animals, and you still love the beauty of the animal, and it also goes into, the money goes into preserving the wildlife, and there's so much more that goes into it. um, there's tons of value into it. uh, so yeah, there's lots of value in everything. So yeah, the moderator was in 4-H. The moderator showed pigs in 4-H, and a sheep. as well. We'll have to get some pictures up next week on that. But anyways, so but we but yeah, those are side topics. Those are side topics, not related so much to pet loss, um but so when someone it says when someone minimalizes your loss, it's not seen as big to you. This may not seem big to you, but it's big to me is a good response to them. When someone tries to minimize your loss, a good response is it may not seem big to you, but it's big to me. Um, or when you don't want to explain yourself anymore to somebody, you could say, "I'm not discussing it right now, but thank you for understanding." There's like, oh, throwback. Yes, throwback to 4-H. Mm-hmm. Yes. Another thing is too is I think with with uh, with pet loss and grief, well, pet loss definitely, we're already in such an emotional state that we hang on to everything that we hear. Um, we really hang on to everything that we hear, and especially if it comes from loved ones. And again, I think we talked about this like last week or last week or the week before. Some people just don't know what to say, or they don't say it the right way, and I don't think that they mean to say things sometimes. Um, it's a Dave says it's a defense mechanism for people who don't want to show their grief. Right. Yeah, that's true. No, that is true. 100%. Yeah, it is. There and and then we talked about that too. The Everybody shows grief differently, right? I mean, there and I think that that's important too. When you have to know your people. Yeah, I'm one that when I'm going through things, I I kind of like to be left alone. I like to just kind of be left alone. But then there's some people that like to be surrounded by people. And boy, oh boy, if you don't like go to those people, then they get really upset. Whereas if people don't come to me, I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm just like, oh, good, leave me alone. Um, and I think it's just because I'm used to taking care of people. So when, I don't want people to, I don't want people to take care of me because I'm used to when you're used to taking care of other people, you have a, you don't want people to take care of you, if that makes sense, right? Um, you just kind of like, you don't want to be a burden to people. I think Patty says that all the time. She says she's going to be a burden to people when as she's going to be a burden to her children. Mm. But yeah, it's no, we don't we don't listen to Patty. Yeah, you're right. We That is true. That is true. No, but no. Will you pause your grief? It's not the same as abandoning your grief. That's a good one. I like that. So if you stop and pause on your grief, it's not the same as abandoning your grief. I like that. That's a really good one. Sometimes it is not the right time to grieve. And that could be you could be in the middle of something, you could be in the middle of a meeting at work, you could be in the middle of just a situation where it's just not the right time to be falling apart and grieving. And that's okay. It's not betraying your animal. It's not betraying the situation. You're just putting a pause on it. And you're just, or sometimes you're grieving so much that it's not good for your body. And you just need to tell yourself, hey, I need to take care of myself. If you're no longer sleeping, you're no longer eating, um, you just need to rest your body. And I think, I don't know, again, sometimes we put ourselves through this guilty phase of doing our animals this injustice if we don't either grieve long enough, or once we start feeling better. um, I used to have this, like, a long time ago, I used to have this weird, in like the beginning stages of my grief years ago, it was this weird feeling of, like, I would rather, like, I would rather be upset than not feel anything at all. And I think it was scary to me because I thought that, I think that when you get older, you start thinking that you're going to start forgetting memories. And I mean, I know now that, growing older and stuff, you forget memories of dogs that you had growing up, and times, and you rely on pictures and things like that. And even some of these guys, I some pictures pop up from 12, 13, 14 years ago, and I'm like, oh wow. But then I look at some of the ones from growing up, and I'm like, gosh, I try to jog my memory on those times. And it's scary. It's scary to know that soon that stuff's going to be gone. So it's important to write things down, right? Maybe that's why it's important to start journaling all these times. And um, so that way that we can keep them alive. Or maybe when people, you join these lives, you can start, put stuff in the chat, and put your dog's names in here, and or the ones that you lost, and or you tell stories about them. That keeps them alive too, because that's, it's on the internet, so it's forever, right? It's on the internet, so it's forever. But yeah, you know what? That's true. Men do grieve differently from women. But and honestly, that's very true. It's very, very true. Men do grieve differently from women. And um, they do. It's I, and it's shockingly, it, they do, and it's weird because they do and they don't. Like I said, it's when I know I told the story about the one gentleman that was from in like he was the Navy SEAL. And like I said, he was interesting. And, like, again, one of my favorites, absolutely one of my favorites. And he aw, I love that. Two tiny urns on the top of a curio cabinet. I pass each morning and tap and say, "Hello, girls, love you." Yeah. Oh, that's what Patty says. I have all five of my urns on my um, on top of my fireplace. They're right in our living room, so that they are always with us. But yeah, the Stewart, the one Navy SEAL, like I said, he always just mostly got angry. A lot of his grief was anger. And yeah, but I think you're right. They do, men do grieve. They do grieve differently. And I think it's important to remember that as well, that when you're going through pet loss, especially with, when you have a family, to not only check in with yourself, but, your kids and, your whole family, because everybody's going to do it differently depending on how they connected with that animal. And you're going to be shocked. And a lot of times um, a lot of times people will be, more connected than others. And I know parents sometimes get a little upset that sometimes parents get a little upset that maybe kids aren't grieving as much as they think that they would, and then or it's quite the opposite. And um, we'll have a kid topic one day, because kids are a whole another can of worms. And uh, but it's good. I think we should definitely have a couple pet loss topics for kids, because that's a very, very important one that definitely thinks that, or definitely I think that we need to go over. But Michelle says her cat Precious died young. Buried her in a pine under a pine tree. 2 days later, a rainbow appeared on top of the tree. Aww. Aww. What color was she, Michelle? What color was Precious? My my cat Midnight was all black. My little cat Midnight. She lived a long time too. Yeah, she lived a long time. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a long time, right? Yes, moderator. I know. I'm going to light the candle here in a minute. I just want, I just want to know what. Oh, black and white. Oh yeah, if you find it, send it to the email, and that the moderator. Yeah, well, you guys, say you have my email, or send it to the Facebook link. Send it to the Facebook link. That's easier. I usually get them in the Facebook link, easier. But anyways, so we will light the candle, because the moderator is throwing the candle action at me. So, and then we will be back on Saturday. Saturday will be Saturday is Valentine's Day. Saturday is Valentine's Day, and that is our uh, regular day. But we'll have fun on Valentine's Day, because that is a good day. So we are lighting the candle. Hopefully, nobody passing by thinks that this is some sort of witchcraft. Um, so, so we are lighting the candle for all of our pets that have passed away. And if we want to, frankincense, I love the smell of frankincense. And we want to type in names in the chat, we can do that. Here, I will. And we can start typing names. Okay. As I say, you can type in ones that you have lost in the chat if you would like. And use a moment of silence. I appreciate everybody stopping by and coming together tonight. Very, very appreciate. Sorry I had a moment there. A scratchy cat. Yeah, so it was Midnight. I think Midnight only liked one person in the house, and that was me. Oh yeah, Herschel. Oh, Herschel was the guinea pig. Yeah, Herschel was the guinea pig. And then oh gosh, you said Herschel too fast. Now I can't think of the turtle. Um, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Buddy. Jesus. Yeah, Buddy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. What? Gosh. But Yeah, thank you guys for always stopping by. And like I said, I hope you get some enjoyment out of everybody getting together. And you know, like I said, I really really appreciate it. And like I said, Saturday will be fun with Valentine's Day and oh, rum and coke. Ah, love it, love it, love it, love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh no! And did you ever find Coke or no? Never did Coke ever come back missing or come up missing? Oh, oh. See, and that's another case where you just don't know. I was on Facebook earlier today and sent out. I was on Facebook earlier today and somebody was talking about somebody hit, unfortunately hit a cat, and they just kept going and somebody else picked it up off the road and put it to the side, and it's just awful. It's yeah. Oh, cha cha. Mm-mm-mm. What about Peppy and Princess? Peppy and Princess. There's a lot of them. Gosh, you know what? We've had so many good dogs over the years. Dogs and cats, and I mean, so many good ones. And then, the moderator tried to, coax me into looking at another dog yesterday. She's such a bad influence. And I knew that that would do nothing but, probably piss Rosie off. Like, not like I need another dog. Like I need another like dog. Like I need another hole in the head. So, but yeah, the moderator's a very bad influence on me. Tried to get me to look at another dog. So, but that's not going to happen right now, anyways. So, hmm that's when now Chacha bit you when you were. That's when you were dating, wasn't it? Chacha bit Chacha bit Dave when you were dating Patty, right? Isn't that right? Because I mean that I was gonna say that had to be what 19, oh, 16 years old. So what was that, 1975? Oh, I bet. Yeah, I'm pretty much at full capacity for dogs right now. Yes. Or no, what was it? 16 years old? No, you were what? That's 1975. That was what, 1960? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I'm at. Hey! Well, look at so. Oh, 1967. Well, look at who. Well, look who got. Oh, look who. So, well, look who joined the chat. So looks like Lisa's on here from Stuart, Florida. Lisa, say hello. She's got. Would you like to add any pets to the chat that have passed away? Yep, Lisa's from Florida. Lisa's a pilot. She flies. And this is Michelle. Michelle is from New Zealand, and she has Bubba. Lisa's a pilot for American. Yep. And then so, Lisa, would you like to add any pets that have passed away in the chat? You're on wrong Eastern Standard Time. why do you why do I feel like you can see me? Because I could see your name. I could see your name in the chat. This is Lisa. This is Michelle in New Zealand. This is her dog Bubba. Isn't he cute? Because I can see, because I'm talking to you. I'm talking to everybody on the chat because it's live. Everything is live. Because it's live. Oh, okay. Yeah, see? That's the fun part about being live. See, you missed the whole first part. So you're gonna have to come on. So now Saturday, so we do these every Dave is on too, and then the moderator is on as well. We do these every Tuesday is Pet Loss Day, and Saturday is like open forum day. So yeah, so today is Pet Loss Day, which you already missed the depressing topic of pet loss. So, which is fine because you don't like that topic anyways. But we were already, there's Dave. Dave says hello. But I was also showing, I showed earlier, this was our picture from Saturday, from our event on Saturday. And then I'll run back through these again real quick. And then Dave won his basket from the Super Bowl. Now, are you in the States right now, or are you off flying somewhere? Yes, he won that from he on Sunday he won that from church. I'm home. Gabby is singing show tunes. Oh, well, that's exciting. That's exciting. Yeah, Lisa is out in Stuart, Florida, and she has she has 3 beautiful girls, and she has 2 dogs. She has 2 dogs and a cat. So she's also a cat person as well. Do you have 2? No, just 1 cat. One. Do you have 1 cat or 2? 1 cat. 2 dogs and a cat. 2 cats. 2 cats. 2 cats. 2 dogs. 2 cats. 2 dogs. 2 dogs. 2 cats. That's right. Okay. 2 cats. 2 dogs. Now Lisa was one. Oh yeah, and lots of guppies. Now Lisa was one that had a she had oh yeah. Dave said that she has actually she does fly international. So Lisa was one that had a cat that was diabetic for years. And she used to always have to feed it or give it diabetic. It was diabetic, right, Lisa? It was diabetic for years. But you do international, right? I know you go like a lot of places. Oh, your sister's getting in trouble, Rosie. Go get her. Go get your sister, Rosie. IV fluids, yes. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Lisa had a cat for years that she had to give IV fluids to. Oh, that'd be fun. New Zealand's beautiful. 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 Rosie. So, well, this is exciting. I'm glad you joined. So anyway, so Tuesday is good. Is Pet Loss Day. Saturday we're going to be back on for Valentine's Day. Absolutely, right? It would be fun. It'd be fun to take I was going to say a road trip. We'd have to take a flying trip first, and then take a road trip, out and out that way. That would be fun. Then we could do a huge Facebook Live out there. That'd be great. But we'll be back on Saturday. We will be back on 7 p.m. right after Valentine's Day. I know that we're doing our we always do traditional Valentine's Day. We're doing it lunch this time because we always typically do dinner, but I'm moving it to lunch this time because 7 p.m. and we're doing the live, and then we will be back on again. Saturday's the fun day, so Lisa better not be late either unless she's got plans on Saturday night. Yeah, no, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, nobody better have plans on Saturday night. I mean, it's Valentine's Day. Who doesn't want to spend time with me on Valentine's Day? But yeah, so like I said, we'll have a bunch of fun on Saturday night. Have an open kind of forum, and like I said, hopefully, we'll have some other stuff going on. But yeah, it'll be good, some good stuff. So there'll be lots and lots of fun. But anyways, I appreciate everybody stopping by. Maybe let's see if we can get the girls back up here one more time, maybe, possibly. Come here, maybe, possibly. Come here, Rosie. I don't know if she will or not. Come here. Up. Come here. Up. You want treats? You want a treat? Maybe. Up. Come on. They're not. Love you too. Come here. Let me see if I can get her up here. You can see her. Come on, up. Coco, come up. Here. Maybe. Come on. Come. Oh well, I don't know what they're doing. Oh well, they're not being very good right now, but that sounds fun too. So, all right. Well, you guys have a good night. Until Saturday, if you don't have a friend, you have a few now. Take care. We will see you later. Oh, bird watching sounds fun too. See, there's tons of stuff to do there. See, we're all going. We're all coming, Michelle. Just make room. We'll all get a hotel. We'll all come and just, hang out and have a good time. See, we'll just check out New Zealand. Good night. We'll see you on Saturday. Take care. Bye-bye. See ya.